Right. Hello, everybody. It is this month's holistic call. Life Explorers discuss books, expansion, and growth. My name is ChriSOULa Sirigou, the Golden Muse, and today's on the panel we've got Jackie Wilson, Gill Barham, Ritchie, Constance Schaap, and Nick Gangadis. Is that right, Nick? Yes. Welcome. You know, we've got a male participant this time, and I'd like to welcome also Jackie, who is her first visit and participation in the calls. Brilliant. Welcome back, Gill and Sue and Constance, and everybody else who's going to be listening and watching the videos later on, because these videos are available for everybody to watch later when I upload them on YouTube. Now, you will all agree that we are part of this journey called life, because we all want to grow. We all want to learn, to expand, to bring the best out of us, and most of all, to share it with others. Otherwise, it can be a pretty lonely journey to have all to ourselves, don't you think? So it is wonderful to celebrate also books. We had a fantastic celebration the 2nd of March. With some of you being there yourselves, and you may want to share a little bit later how was it for you, and share your impressions and what you took out of it. I'm just leaving with you if you like to. But today's call is going to be longer than the previous calls. So from now on, this call will be 1 hour, 1 hour and a quarter long, and so that gives us more time to expand and the conversation and be in the flow. And also not thinking, oh, under pressure, we have to finish in 40 minutes. I think that's a real treat that we can have that. I just decided that that's the best way forward. I've done it for a good year or so, like with this basic program on Zoom, but now I think we need to expand. That's it. There you are. So you are all muted, and of course, because there was a bit of background noise, that's why you're all muted. However, everybody's going to contribute your own take on expansion in terms of, it could be growth, it could be how you personally see yourselves growing and expanding, but also your own contribution, how you can help others, inspire others to evolve and grow. Okay, so it could be either way. It could be either, what you do yourselves at this point in time, or how do you support others, or both. Yeah. So I'm going to leave it with you to decide what you like to share. I would like to start, first of all, with something that I like to take from a wonderful book. Maybe you have already read it. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. It's called Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. It is a wonderful book. It's all about creative living beyond fear. Okay, so how can we live our life in being the flow, interacting with life creatively? So there's a section in one of the chapters called permission. Have you ever found yourselves asking for permission to express your opinion, to express your artistic feel, to express your emotions, to express, how you want to be in the world? Have you ever found yourself that, you need to allow something else to happen before you go out there and do it yourselves? Well, I feel that we all have gone into that stage at some point in our lives, whether we're children, teenagers, or later on as adults. But the point I'd like to share with you is about arrogance of belonging. And it's not really being arrogant, but actually giving you the permission to say, hey, I am here. I am here. It's not that you want to be the greatest. It's not like because you want to show off. It's because you want to show up. And you want to say to the world, I am here. And I've got something significant, something magnificent to share with every single one of you. And you don't need permission to do that, do you? You don't need to ask for anybody to say whether you're good enough or not. It's something that comes from within, something that comes from your own belief in yourself. And the point I'm going to ask to take out of this is because it says, often God keeps you from creative living. This is a quote from the book. Is your self-absorption, your self-doubt, your self-disgust, your self-judgment, your crushing sense of self-protection. The arrogance of belonging pulls you out of the darkest depths of self-hatred, not by saying, I am the greatest, but merely by saying, I am here. So this is the good kind of arrogance we're talking about. Yeah, it's not like I am the best and simply everybody has to hear what I say and you just shut it, you know, because I've got the best thing, the best offer, the best message in the world. So we're starting the call based on this, and then we're going, of course, you know, everything is in the flow, and then things will work out, I'm sure, for the best of everybody involved and for people who are going to be watching the call again. So I'd like to start. I'd like to give permission to start with Jackie, because Jackie, you are somebody who's inspiring young people to allow themselves to be themselves.
Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about, you know, what do you do to inspire them? How do you inspire them?
Well, I think my inspiration, or, you know, to inspire them, comes from my journey. So like you were talking about expansion, I've had to expand. You know, I was very shy as a child and very small. I think everything I saw was, I was very small and I couldn't really do anything more than just a little bit. And then with what I discovered when I went through my sort of transformation, if you like, of discovering the truth about me, and not so the doubts and the thoughts, the beliefs that I had about myself that were holding me back and keeping me small, that was when I immediately took an expansion, that I didn't need to stay small, I could be something more. And it's over the last few years, that's really what I've done. I've found ways to expand. So I was talking today, I was doing a talk for some parents, and 70 of them showed up at school, and I couldn't, and that actually, bizarrely, it was my infant school where I went back to today, which is amazing. But it was very surreal because it reminded me of when I was that shy child who didn't think she could be anything, who didn't have the belief in herself. So it kind of really fits today that is, I can look back and see the journey that I've gone through, and see that, you know, I've gone from not being able to get up and stand and talk in front of anybody to now being able to be on a call like this, or to go on TV, and, you know, to take that expansion and to really believe that my message is important, and I just have to go out there and do it and keep pushing forward to the wider audience, and stepping through the fears as they come, and noticing any beliefs that are holding me back and moving through them, and just expanding and expanding. That's what I have to do, because unless I'm living it, how can I teach it? You know, to be able to,
you know, walking the talk. Yeah, that's what you're saying.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I can stand there as I did today and said that I've done that journey of not believing that I can be anything, to actually standing here in front of you today and managing it, and, you know, and not thinking the negatives that I used to think. It's just a beautiful experience to be in that place of seeing how much I have expanded since I was 6 years old at that school. And it's, you know, it's what I'm all about, and how I inspire children is by telling my story that enables them to see that it is possible. It is possible to be more than you ever imagined. You know, I teach children, there's a book here actually, which called Taming Your Gremlin, which is about those beliefs that you have that hold you back, and how to tame them. So I teach about the gremlin, and then I say, well, there's the other mindset that you can use, which is your true self, your superhero. It's to stand there with not the ego part of you, but stand there in real conviction of that you are worth something, and you can be more than you imagine if you believe that, if you allow yourself to see that. So yeah, that's kind of what I do, is get people to really see their potential by seeing my potential, if that makes sense.
It does make sense, and thank you, Jackie. It does make sense, and I guess every single one of you on the call, and every single one of you who's going to watch back later on, you must have had some sort of gremlins somehow, somewhere in your life. Maybe even now, after you have had the opportunity to share your message, or like Gill and Sue, you know, and myself, we have actually gone out there and spoke, and whether it's on the radio, like yourself, Jackie, in front of so many parents, and it could be big gremlins that are actually there and they don't leave you alone. Or it could be like small gremlins that just go and disappear very quickly. But it's good to actually share, because these gremlins stop us from really connecting with our truth, connecting with our real truth. Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes they can just send us in a different direction. You see what I mean? They can persuade us somehow to not connect with our inner truth and be in alignment with our inner truth. So how do you work with that then when that happens? And I'm sure some of you, or maybe all of us here, we have been in that situation. If you got something to share, just put your hand up so I can unmute you.
Sue's there.
Thank you. Over to you, Sue.
Yeah, that's I think that's very, very pertinent. I think that the problem is that when you're not actually living congruently with your true self, that's a scenario where potentially you can become ill, which is what happened to me about eight odd years ago now. And I see that illness now as a gift, because it basically led me to really look at my life and not accept where I was, because I really didn't want to have a life where I wasn't being able to live life to the full and be active. And, you know, I just knew that there was lots of other things that I needed to be doing. And that journey, you know, led me to lots of times, if you like, of having to sort of break through and tell the gremlins to go away, so that I could actually, you know, share my message, if you like, that I learned from my own situation of recovering from Hashimoto's disease. Because, you know, I was given this gift for a reason. And if I don't actually share my knowledge out in the world, then, you know, I'm actually being very selfish, because I've got, you know, really valuable knowledge to share, so that other people don't have to stay ill. They can recover and they can really start to live their lives to the full as well. And, you know, there have been times when, you know, being like this on video and be like, oh, I don't want to look at myself. Probably about sort of 3 years ago, it's like I realized I needed to get more visible and to become comfortable with video and things like that. And, you know, you've just got to really, I suppose, you know, you have to feel the fear and just do it anyway. And the more times you actually do that, it then becomes a lot easier. And I think with all of things about fear is that, A, it's not real. It's just false evidence appearing real. But, you know, I remember a time when I was about, I suppose, 11, 12, I did like this personal survival award. And part of it was having to be up on this 10-meter board in a swimming pool and jumping off that in your pajamas, or you had a swimming costume on as well. And I'm, you know, scared of heights, if you like. And, you know, I sort of stood there and, God, I've got to do this. No, I can't, you know, back and forth, and eventually just went and did it. And the amazing thing is that once you actually do it, you look back and it's like, well, why was I so scared? It wasn't really that bad after all. So I think it's really important that, you know, if you've got a big message, you have to get out there and you have to expand and you have to grow and push through those barriers. Otherwise, you're going to keep yourself small, and, you know, there's going to come a time, you know, perhaps at the end of your life, when you're going to look back and think, what have I done? I had all this, but why didn't I actually, make the effort and go through those fears to actually get out there, help more people, and make a difference in people's lives.
Well, you said a few things, Sue, there that actually very much connect with what Jackie was saying, that the more you work not in the sense of hard work, the more you develop yourself, and we are all on this journey of learning more about ourselves, right? So understanding more of who we are. And the more we walk this path, the more we actually shine our lights. And then in this way, we are inspiring others to do the same thing. But believing in the fears, we are staying small. And what are we gaining by staying small? That's the question I like to ask you and everybody else. What can we possibly gain by staying small and holding ourselves back? There's so much more to experience in life. There's so much more to see and feel and in connection, interaction with others. It becomes even better. It becomes even more joyful. So the question I've got for you here is, so what do you do, like a small step that you have actually tried, or a practice or a technique, or something that you have used in your life, or even if it could be X years ago, so it could be something you're doing now, that it has actually really supported you to grow more and connect more with your truth, and then bring more of your light out there and expand your light and help others expand as well. Is there something that you'd like to share? Just put your hand up so I can unmute you. Thank you, Gill. That's it. There you go.
So, can you hear me? I don't have a great connection, just to tell you. So I'm hoping I come through. Sue and I are very work in a very similar field, and so we're very much singing from the same song sheet, in that we both had our own health crisis, and now we've gone and turned that into really focusing and helping other people to live the life that they want to live. And I particularly focus on entrepreneurial women in order to help them. If you have got a message inside of you, if you're not healthy and strong and vital and have the energy in order.
Okay, this is not clear. We cannot hear you now.
Spread that message on entrepreneurial. You cannot hear me?
No,
yeah,
it's okay.
I've got a rubbish internet.
If you got a message, if you're not healthy and vibrant, how can you go there? Okay, carry on.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because it is true that as we are focused on sharing this passion and purpose that we've developed, and we're all working more and more on that, put ourselves last. So one of the big things, the messages that I want to give is to help women, particularly women in business, is to change the emphasis and to say, well, what are you doing on a daily basis to help yourself to create the space and the time and the nurturing that you need
Again, we lost you again.
In order, a promise to the people that you love. Am I there? Okay. For some reason, my internet connection is just not great tonight. So whether that's in terms of, people that you love and cherish, or whether it's your clients, the rub of it is you're no good to them dead.
No.
That's the end. That's the
real.
end.
That's real. Yes.
So one of the things that is very real, yes, and I'll always say it like it is, as you know, I'm on this kind of journey of self-discovery. And have I gone again? Is learning more about yourself. So one of the things that we need in the world is this connection and this growth as well, to feel that we're growing every day. That's one of the things, even if you're not running a business, that one of the 6 human needs that Tony Robbins talks about is growing as a person. And the great thing about that is the more you know about yourself, the more that you can define your purpose and the more you can be sure that you're working authentically. For example, I've just had my astrological chart done, and 4 of my moons are all in the area of healing. Now, I know and I sense that I'm a healer, if you like, that, you know, my thing is about helping people to be well and to be healthy. But just the knowing that my chart actually, it's a bit woo-woo, but having that confirmation that I'm doing my life's purpose, that I'm fulfilling the passion that I feel, has given me more momentum and more comfort to know that you know, I am in the happy place. And I'll tell you one other thing as well, is that writing a book is a great way to improve your confidence too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you, Gill, you have written a book, It's the Heart of a Woman, and Sue, Ritchie, you've written a book, Love Your Gut, right? And myself and Jackie, we are co-authors in the book called The Book of Inspiration, and Gill as well. Let me just not forget this. And Sue. So we are
and Sue as well.
The 4 of us are co-authors, contributors in the Book of Inspiration for Women by Women, and it's actually launched. It is launched on the 29th of April in Melbourne, in Australia, and hopefully we UK-based authors, we will be doing something here sometime soon. Yes. We need to get together. You need to create something really nice, you know, because we don't want to wait what's happening in Australia. We've got to bring the energy here in this country too. Okay, I'm glad I see your heads nodding. That's good. And and if you find out more about it, about the Book of Inspiration for Women by Women, it's not only about women. It's also a book that men can read as well, and or you can offer it as a man to a woman as a gift. It could be written. It is written by women of different ages, so it's not just destined for entrepreneur, you know, like business women, or you know, for certain age group. It is destined for anybody who can actually like to receive inspiration and really feel like receive an impact in a really positive way, and make a change and see the world in a different way. So we're really looking forward to that. Since we are talking about books, growth and expansion, I think it's worth talking about it at this point. And moving on. It's I was thinking about, when we talk about growth, it's even a subjective way of seeing growth. How do you define growth? And I'd like to come to Constance, because what do you see as growth? You know, and then Nick, you could actually give your own opinion on this, because we talk about expansion, about bringing our light out there, but when we talk about growth, what is it, growth? Well, how do you see being, you know, like growing? Let me just mute
myself.
Yeah, you're done.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. For me, growth is first thing about personal growth, because I believe that you need to be able to grow yourself in order to bring something to others. So what we do, ChriSOULa and I have been to the coaching of Christian Pankhurst, who has the Heart IQ community, and there we actually grow by being together and being in the group, and the group dynamics help us grow even faster. Mm-hmm. But I believe you start with growing you go on your own personal development, and then things come to you, like we went to the Heart IQ community, or you have other communities where you join. I personally am very enthusiastic about a coach who's coaching me now to get my business started. She's also in the growth business, and you know, the intuitive way that she can help others to grow their business is so amazing. I get so inspired by that, and then I think, yeah, I want to share this with other people. When I know how to do it, I'm going to get that in there, and you know, that feels so inspiring. At the same time, it's growth of others, but it's also inspiring. And yeah, that's, to me, if those three come together, I get totally energized and I want to go for it.
And it's also I like to just stop for when you said about intuitive sort of awareness and connect with your intuition and connect. I guess the more you connect with your intuition, and then the more Sue can talk to us and Gill for that matter about gut health and intuitive awareness and connecting with your intuition, with your gut instinct. Yes, that's why it's really important to look after your gut, because we talked about that at World Book Day when we talk about our 3 brains. And if you haven't heard that before, well, here it is. We've got 3 brains. We've got our mind, our brain, our thinking mind. We've got our heart, that's where we work, with heart intelligence and emotional intelligence. We also have the gut, where we're actually connecting with our creativity and our wisdom, and really connect with our intuition and our spirit. And if our gut is not healthy, how can you possibly connect with your gut instinct and then know that your gut instinct is correct and it's actually clear what you want to do? And this is where these 2 ladies, Gill and Ritchie, can help you with as well. And they've got their own ways of supporting not only women, anyone with understanding how improving your gut health. So your intuition, I really feel what you're saying there, Constance, because I work with my intuition a lot, and the more I work with color healing and color therapy, the more this intuition is actually growing even more. And it's, as you said, it's like developing more yourself and connect with your inner wisdom and believing in your inner wisdom. So fantastic, thank you, Constance. Nick, I'm coming to you.
Okay. Hello there.
Hello.
Right. For me, growth is mostly contribution and also mutual help and support. The nature of my occupation is mostly sort of like practical. I've always been in kind of technical kind of jobs like electronics and then computer programming. And recently I've picked up something else like market trading, financial market trading, which is something like more, and it doesn't involve really reading kind of particular kind of books or even writing, but I've been to quite a few courses, especially about finance and trading and this sort of thing, and I've met quite a lot of people called mentors or gurus or people that actually contribute in this sort of aspect of trading. And they were saying that they teach people many things, but at the same time they learn from them as well. It's some kind of mutual feedback that is helping each other. So for me, the growth is some kind of contribution and grow through some kind of a mutual support and also some kind of expansion and sort of like helping actually to achieve something more, something better, that sort of thing.
Yeah, well, actually, Nick, coming back to, you can carry on talking about this, but I'd like to link the 2 things about what you and Constance were saying, that independence is good. To be, to do your own learning and your own studying, but interdependence is what we need to grow.
Yeah.
So, like, we're growing by being a community in a circle like this here, where we're swapping ideas, we change, and then this is how, for me, the future of our community and families, and schools needs to work in a way like we're not like we have been sort of conditioned to say, you need to work and you need to be really good by yourself and work hard to be good. But there's another element of interconnectedness and interdependence as well, that you learn and grow more by being in a community of people that are inspired by each other, and you bring that brings more clarity to you as well. Sorry, I just wanted to bring that in because I think it's really crucial to make that point. So, Nick, if you'd like to carry on, like to share something else.
The thing is, I haven't written any of the books. The only thing I've written was like a resume at school while I was in Greece, and Then sort of like a change. I used to live in France sometime, and then I started reading books in French, and I remember myself always with a dictionary trying to translate and get something new. And then again, about 5 years in UK, I started reading books in English and all that. And I have a general interest in reading, actually, and I read books on different subjects. I'm interested also in books, except the books it's on my occupation, books about science and about kind of esoteric and metaphysical subjects. And I believe that probably one day I'll be able to write something like along the lines of presenting some kind of metaphysical or esoteric truths in the form of fiction. Something like Dan Brown, for instance, is doing with his works, like sort of like give his novels and then it's like presenting some kind of key concepts and ideas and that sort of thing. That could be quite interesting. And but still a long time to go. And I need to find my niche first.
Yes, you're on the one. It was as we all are on this journey, but the fact that you have this vision, Nick, is really important to nurture it and really connect with that even more. And
yes, of
connect
course.
with people like here or other communities, other circles that you feel inspired to carry on.
Exactly.
Yeah, fabulous. Thank you. Jackie, have you got anything else to share on this about connecting with each other, learning from each other?
Yeah, I think for me, it's for families, for communities. I think it's really important to connect because I do feel that as a society, and it's not just in this country, it's in the Western world really, there's a lot of disconnection, and to grow we do need to come together and like you said about inspiring each other, to lift each other and help each other. I think it's crucial, and to be more empathic, that's a big thing. I think we all need to really understand each other and not judge, not compare, just accept and understand. I think that for me is going to help us all grow, because then we can support each other and find a better way to be, really, and help our children, help each other. Because the whole thing about mental health and education, none of us have been taught how to understand ourselves, how to have greater self-awareness, and it's only if you happen to fall upon it through your life that you have the chance to kind of grow and to be more. So it is about spreading that message by connecting, and your group of bringing people together. I think it's fascinating to see groups of people coming together and inspiring each other and helping each other to grow. And that's what you do, ChriSOULa, with all of us that are coming around you. And it to hear other people talking like this, it does inspire and lift you and gives you more passion and more reason to be out there doing it and making a difference.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you. And then it's all a matter of co-creation as well, isn't it? Collaboration and co-creation. And yes, and it is for me. It's also when you talked about families and relationships, is also taking the time to acknowledge that there's another way of seeing life. There's another way of perceiving life. And sometimes it's not a matter of right or wrong. Sometimes it's like accepting what the other view is, accepting how people can see it in a different way.
Absolutely.
Sometimes parents can be very, very imposing, like this is the way I like you to behave and that's the way it is. Or equally adults or teachers, that's the set of behaviors I like you to behave with. And if you don't go along with this, it is not right. And I think the acknowledgement we need, the acceptance, and it is really important to, I think that's how you feel free to grow and expand.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think it's the lack of awareness around. It's kind of like a lot of people walk around very unconscious. They're not conscious of the way they are. They're not aware of what's going on for them, the beliefs that they've got. and they're not able to step back and observe and to see what's going on, and that does create all this disconnection, because we're blaming, we're not taking responsibility for the way we feel and things that are going off for us. We're so quick to blame and make it somebody else's fault. But let that all go, connect in, see what's happening for yourself, and then it enables you to be more empathic and to support and inspire others.
Yes, it is. There's a technique in heart intelligence when it's something, you take some time to really, in a way, digest it, or really allow to land with you and see how it feels before you open your mouth and you start having an opinion about it, or feeling like really upset about it. And so it's fascinating how heart intelligence and working with our emotions and being more conscious of it, how it can help communication and growth. So
it's crucial. It's crucial.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, my dear. Gill, sorry, you would like to share something?
Yeah, well, there were two things that came up for me there. One is that very often it just takes one person to believe in you for you to take that next step towards wherever your journey is taking you. And I've spoken about this before, that really in my journey over the last sort of 2 years particularly, or 3 years maybe, it was ChriSOULa was the first person that said, oh wow, you've really got something here, and I believe in you, and I think you can do this. ChriSOULa was the first person who really made that significant difference to me. Thank you. And I wouldn't have written my book, I wouldn't be speaking, I wouldn't be doing all of these things if it were not for somebody like ChriSOULa herself, and other people subsequently who know the importance of that nurturing and that support. And what it's taught me as a mother is that my children are now all in their 20s, and my son had an interview today. He's 25 and he's been doing his PGCE. He's specialising in early needs, special needs for early years, and I'm very proud of him. He went to university and did criminology, didn't really get on with it, and he's really found his niche, he's found his passion. And he went for an interview, and we were talking to him yesterday, and my husband's very practical and ask these questions and do this and just be yourself and all the rest of it, which is lovely. And I just said to him, well, I just think that you need to treat it like you're interviewing them, that you've got as much right to see whether or not they fit your criteria as you fit theirs. And I truly believe that if I hadn't have been on this journey, I probably wouldn't have said that to him. I probably would have come from that fear aspect, which is, am I not good enough? They're judging me. Whereas I think we've all got so much more to offer than that. And whether that's a 25-year-old boy or a 5-year-old boy, I believe that we need to grow as ourselves as parents in order for us to help our children to overcome that fear, that lack, that feeling that they're not worthy, all those other things that are tied up.
This is absolutely, Gill, I totally agree with you. This is one of the elements, or one of the things that really hold us back. And there's so many people, whatever age, we're still working on it, still, feeling that this idea of not good enough, of not, or somebody else is better than us, or somebody else deserves more than us. And I know that there's so many people that they talked about it, and then I know you may have heard it, by many people on different videos and different talks and so on. But there's still some element in each and every one of us that we are actually caught up by saying, am I good? Shall I do this? Or, you're hesitating. I'm sure you must have found yourselves, after all the work and everything we have done, they're still there because it is in ourselves. It's not like on a conscious mind. It's not like we say, yeah, of course I'm good. Of course I've done all of these things. But subconsciously, there's something there that we cannot control. But we can be clever though, and then with the right support, with the right people, people in our circle, we can actually get out of it much faster and much easier. And I think that's the lesson that we are all learning on this journey of self-growth and self-awareness and self-expansion, that we receive these techniques, so we get these tools, like Jackie's got tools to help kids, like Sue's got her own, every single one of us has got different techniques and tools to help others. I've got different colors here that I can help you understand more of where you're holding yourself back. But every single time we are moving forward, we are actually moving forward, and then we feel more. It happens with more ease. And for me, it's really important that our journey is not always full of hiccups and full of hesitation and full of struggle and suffering. that's for me. That's the ultimate way of growing without having to. Yeah, pain is okay. You may have to feel pain, but not to allow it to become suffering. Can you see the difference between the two? There's a big difference between the two. Yeah, pain, connecting with your emotion, understand where something went wrong or how you can learn better and all of that. But when you're allowed to really get you down to the point of really like reaching bottom and really hard to get up, I think when you're on this self-development journey, you can actually lift yourself up much easier. And it's worth every single way or penny, or what courses you may do, or books you may read, or people you may to help you lift you up and move forward. Have you got any thoughts on that? Who would like to contribute on that? Yes, Sue.
I think the biggest thing that I've learned on my journey is you can't do it all on your own, and you have to ask for help, but you also have to invest in yourself, because you do need the support of other people who've already been through the journey that you're on now, so that you can learn from them, being able to grow yourself. And it's really good to invest in yourself, because when you invest in yourself, you really put out the message that you're worth it.
Yeah.
That's the big thing that I think holds so much that many of us back, as you're saying, is that there's always that element of, well, I'm not really worth it, or I'm not really good enough, and stuff like that. And when you have the connection as well with other people, it's so good for creativity, because it's very difficult when you sit on your own and you're trying to come up with ideas and thoughts. But when you're in a room with other people who are on a similar sort of path and wavelength to yourself, and you start sharing things, it's amazing how many ideas and opportunities start to present themselves to you.
Absolutely. Yes. Fantastic. Yes. Thank you, Sue. Yes. And that takes me to a question I'd like to ask you all. Where are you at this point as you are now? Whether you've got a little project you would like to share, you don't have to. You can share, and if we all share where you are at the moment, and then we can that would be a way of completing the call. It would be nice to that would be really inspiring, wouldn't it? To end it up like this. Yes, Gill.
So I have to scoot, so I jumped
Pardon?
in first, guys. I hope you don't mind. On the 28th of March, which in terms of a good time for me, that 28th of March is a great day for me to launch that. We're also going to the Radio Works World Awards, ChriSOULa, on that same day. I think that's the 28th of March as well. And I'm also running an 8-week program, and that all starts on the same day. So that's a bit of a massive
So
busy day. But the thing that's new that I'm launching is say again,
Gill, the bit that I didn't get, I don't think we got because of the connection thing. What is it that you're launching on the 28th of March?
So the new thing that's launched on the 28th of March is a kind of just a very simple, easy to do program. It's a video program, and it's called 14 Days to Fabulous. How you can get more energy, be the person that you want to be, to learn how you can live life to the full, basically. So this is starting your journey to fabulous. It's an online video series for women. So I'm just about to record all of those short videos, and that's going to be launched, as I say, on the 28th. And I'll be talking about a different thing every day, just some basic tips, the videos about 8 to 10 minutes every day, so that I can share with you just the beginning parts of all of the things that I've learned over the years as my nurse as well, and since I've been doing nutritional therapy, just some basic things. Because one of the things I often hear is that there's so much noise out there. Well, what should I do? What should I eat? How much exercise should I do? How can I get better sleep? What is it I need to do about this? And one of the things that I want to do is kind of get in.
We lost you again.
And dispel all the myths. Lost me again. You got me now?
Carry on.
Yeah.
Dispel all the myths. Yes, fantastic.
It's got to be an easy to do. Just sort of get to know me, get to know you.
So, Gill, will you be sharing, and everybody else, because all of you are part of the
14 Days to Fabulous, so that's my news.
Will you be sharing, all of you? I just don't want to forget, every new courses or initiatives or projects or something that you would like to receive some inspiration, even if it's at the starting point, or if you're completed, it's complete, and then you would like to share it, please do so. Use this platform, the closed group. And I like to say something. If you don't see at the beginning a lot of interaction, don't lose faith, okay? Because there's so much going on. And I have experienced that. Just share something else, tweak it a bit, do something else, put another picture there, put the link again, and just keep at it. Okay, that's the way I feel about spreading a message. It's not going to happen if you just share it once or twice. It needs to be ongoing, and it needs to be there again and again, and then create, make it a bit joyful and playful, and use different pictures as well, different photos. That's a little bit about how you can use the platform on Facebook in the closed group. And I know, Jackie, thank you, Gill, fantastic. We'll look forward to being part of the program. Jackie, I know you've done something really wonderful. You're launching on the 22nd of April, right?
I am, yeah. I'm running some family wellbeing program, a family wellbeing program. So it's bringing children from sort of 8 upwards to teenagers together with their parents to connect, to grow, to learn from each other, about each other, and become more self-aware. Again, it's more emotional intelligence, understanding why the parents get irate with the children and why the children feel the way they do, giving them a deeper understanding so that they can become more connected and they can get along easier. So that's what I'm launching on the 22nd of April. And then alongside that, I'm building my first online program for teenagers with anxiety and stress, particularly in the run-up to the exams. That's something I'm building at the moment as well. Brilliant. Because it's really quite heightened at the moment, and I seem to be getting a lot of calls from parents about that. So I'm putting that online very soon.
Fantastic. The first course you talked about, that's in person, right? So you where are you hosting this?
It's in Nottingham. It's in a little town where I live called Arnold, and it's kind of in conjunction with the local council. They're subsidising it for a pilot, really, so that they can send some professionals down to watch what I'm doing. And yeah, there's just a small number of families that it's open to initially, just to test it out and get it going, really.
Yes, exactly. We've got to make a start with everything. Yes, fantastic news. Well done. Brilliant.
Thank you.
Where else? Who's got something else? I will leave myself at the end because I've got something to share as well. Nick, yes, please.
Right. I have a project as well. I have, as I said, I recently started doing this new occupation of trading. It was last October I started. I had some psychological issues about this, although I've been pursuing that for many years before. I had some kind of analysis of paralysis kind of problems to start, but I subscribed to another program called Prosperity Course, with, held by Ritchie, and she really helped me actually to sort out all my psychological problems, and I started now trading full time. And at the same time, what I'm doing is I'm automating my trading methods, that they will all be in some kind of a black box kind of program, which everyone can use it, and sort of like going to help them to trade properly and hopefully successfully, as I will be doing actually. And I'm considering to start writing a manual about this early next year. And I would be interested, for instance, if I could present some drafts here, for instance, to you, and you, because you know better, to give me some ideas, some tips about it. And I will also, at the same time, make it available to you if you're interested as well, to start something in parallel, and so like a pastime, if you like. So I think it's something that's going to be quite interesting, and something like beneficial for all. So
yes, Nick, I think what we need to do is for me to understand more of what you're talking about, because we have a chat between us, and then next time when we're meeting next month,
right.
We've got a call, the holistic calls with all of you life explorers. Is happening every second Monday
Yes.
of the month. So when we meet next time, so we can actually have space to explore this a bit more. Yeah.
Yes, yes, of
Or
course.
it could be another time. You know, it doesn't have to be. I'm saying that we are meeting every second Monday of the month. So there's scope for us to see how we can support you, how you can share with the project you're talking about. All
That's
right.
fine. That's great. Thank you.
Brilliant, brilliant. So anybody else who's got something going on, or something already complete, or in the middle of it, or who?
I have.
Yes, you have.
I'm going to be doing some on a regular basis. I want to. I'm going to be doing a number of talks locally, really, in the East Midlands, to educate people to understand why gut health is so important, and how it actually underpins so many diseases, and really show people how they can actually look after their gut and make sure that their gut microbiome is well balanced, so that they can live, life energized and healthy. So I'm going to be getting out and do those, and I'll probably be also doing some Zoom calls and also webinars to really, show people why it's so important to actually eat well, eat healthily, and look after your body, so that you can, live an active life. But also it's about prevention of diseases, so that as you get older, you can look forward to having an active retirement, rather than one where you're sitting down and you're not really able to get out and about and do very much.
Well, I would like to believe that on the 22nd of April, which is we celebrate the Earth Day, World Earth Day. It's everywhere in the world we celebrate Mother Earth. So I host a celebration on the 22nd of April, Saturday, in a wonderful location, a wonderful space. And if you haven't come yet, Sue and Gill have been there before. If you haven't ever visited this place, you really got to come. And if the 22nd of April is not easy for you, maybe there will be another time, because I do host events there and run courses in the future. So maybe there will be another time. So that's something, for your diaries, and all the information is on my website as well, ChriSOULa.com. When you go on the homepage under live events, you'll find out about it. I hopefully, I don't know, Sue, you haven't mentioned it yet, but you may be able to come to that event because you were there last year. So Constance, would you like to share something? where you are at the moment, or where you know something you're working on and you are you know looking into finishing? Or you did mention about this course you're doing with this intuitive coach.
I would like to share something, but I'm not hearing you very well, so I don't know whether it's my connection or your or whatever.
We are
So I hope you hear me.
We can hear you. Carry on.
Okay. Well, I don't have real projects going on right now. My actual big project is getting started as a coach, and I'm actually being coached to do so and finding out ways to get there. And yeah, as I already said, I'm really enthusiastic about the woman's coach who's coaching me right now, and she resonates so much with how I want to do it, and I want to do it in a quite different way, and I want to coach people in a quite different way. So I'm getting clearer and clearer on what I want and how that might be looking like. But I think it will still take me at least 1 month until I really have that picture what I want to do and how I could support that. So hopefully by the end of April I will be there, and I will be able to share something really inspiring, and you know, knowing what steps I'm going to take. And even though I haven't been doing that yet, I think I will know where the road is going, you know, and that already feels so exciting.
Yes,
knowing that I will step up and I will get out there.
Yes, but even if it's just what I like to say, you know, even if it's just one way forward, only one step that you know you're clear, you're confident you like to take, that would be great. You know, it doesn't have, you know, for me, it's you don't have to have the whole big thing, you know, like you say,
no,
everything, because that's pretty overwhelming, isn't it? But if you can say, okay, I know I feel I can do this now, for the time being, I can do this now to the best of my ability, and then the rest will come. You know, it's like a continuous, you know, building up. That doesn't make you feel anxious about seeing the big picture. No,
I don't feel like that actually. But you know, I'm working on the bigger picture, and in the meantime, finding ways to take small steps to get there. So yeah, it feels good.
Good, fantastic, brilliant. Well, Gill, I guess, decided to say goodnight because of the connection. Anyway, it's great. Well, the other thing I like to add is that I'm preparing. I'm in the middle of putting together a wonderful 8-day course, online course, and you may have heard of me talking about it, the Golden Keys to Prosperity. And this is something that you could do at your own pace, at your own time. And it's going to be in a kind. It's like going deep, understanding more of your own language. You know, that the language maybe that you haven't had the chance to interpret, that is deep inside you. And this is done with a language of color. And every day there will be something else that we're going to delve into, a different theme and different way of seeing. So we're looking at the masculine energies, the feminine energies, how to be impeccable yourself and with others, how to connect more with your inner truth and your I amness. So in all of this, day after day, then brings you to understanding more of who you are. And then that's how you can attract more prosperity into your life as well. How you can attract more of the wealth or richness, whatever, you know, the way you see prosperity really. So it's a very personal thing how you receive and understand prosperity. But money is one way, definitely way of seeing prosperity, isn't it? So there you go. So that's something I'm really looking forward. I'm actually working on it. I'm developing as we speak now. So it's sometime in March. Probably, I think I was thinking of the 20th of March, but I think it will be now probably 27th of March. So anyway, I'll keep you posted. Okay, right, fantastic. Well, let me just unmute you all. If you'd like to say just good night or something at the end. I hope you really enjoyed just that. And I know that for you, Sue and Constance, you can tell the difference between the shorter calls we had in the past with the longer calls that we had today. How did it feel for you?
I can't hear you.
Are you? Okay. Well, anyway, Sue, what did you think? You know, because it's a longer call now.
I can't hear you very well either.
All right, okay.
I can hear you.
Just kidding.
Okay, Jackie. Right. Well. I hope you enjoyed the call, and how was it for you, Jackie? Your first experience?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's very nice. Again, it's inspiring, isn't it? Just listening to other people and their journey, their thoughts. It's always good. It makes your mind think.
Yeah. Fabulous. It's also the heart connection, because we're all here with very good intentions, and it really works. We are all vibrating, like with very good intentions and good energy. So, Nick, how did you feel for you that you were here in this circle?
That was really interesting. Actually, something new for me, and gives me the motivation to carry on and learn more, and also give more if possible.
Yeah.
Something I'd like to pursue. Actually, it's I like to carry on with it.
Brilliant. When the next call, thank you so much for all of you for coming. The next call is on Monday, the 10th of April, again at 7:30 in the evening, GMT, and of course it's springtime, so we need to decide, how we can make some new beginnings, and where do all the new beginnings come? Looking after ourselves, looking after our body, looking after our toxins, detoxing, decluttering. Whether it's decluttering our offices or our wardrobes, or decluttering our bodies. so springtime, we need to spring cleaning and looking after our environment where we live. And I think that's another way of where prosperity comes in. And that's something that we're going to be talking about next month. Okay. Fabulous. So wishing you all a wonderful night, and the rest of March, and hopefully see you on the 10th of April.
Bye.
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 Thanks.
Bye.